The woman's gaze startled the administrator. He turned halfway around and hurled the iron block in his hand forward with all his might. Instantly, the bulletproof glass on the 33rd floor shattered. He rushed ahead, peering at the toxic fumes spreading below, then turned to carefully survey his surroundings. The woman behind him seemed to recognize the building and urgently tried to stop him from doing something reckless. But the next second, the man had already tied a rope around himself. Under the stunned gazes of the onlookers, Jack leaped out. His 25 years of extreme training hadn't been in vain. He precisely grabbed the protruding part of the wall. The rope suddenly tightened, leaving him suspended mid-air, parallel to the ground. Realizing the danger, his teammates began loosening the rope. Now, he was on his own. He adjusted his stance, mustered all his strength, and finally hooked onto the ledge to pull himself to safety. Though he felt like he'd just escaped death's door, the toxic fumes were still rising. This place was no longer safe. He had to reach the rooftop of the opposite building. The real challenge was only beginning. After securing his safety rope, he picked up the iron rod and let out a shout to steel his nerves. The toxic fog drew closer. There was no turning back. He had no choice but to trust himself and keep climbing. Upon reaching the top, he anchored the rope pressed close to the stone wall and decisively lunged for the adjacent pillar. Then, his right hand reached for the beam above the window. Releasing his left hand, his entire body dangled as he clung to the wall, steadily making his way to the other side of the window. Finding a foothold, he secured the rope again and began inching along the wall. As time passed, Jack had to stop. The rope around his waist had become an obstacle. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't advance. Looking at the rooftop, he knew there was only one choice left: untying the rope.